All right, guys. So I want to talk to you guys real quick about being an entrepreneur and doing the whole drawing thing. Being an entrepreneur and being a full-time artist is really it's a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of fun and it can be very, very, very tricky. Um, when you are being an artist and when you're running any business for that matter, a lot of times, especially for us artists, though, we are focused on the business. We are focused on the art part, not the business. We're focused on the drawing part, right? We want to draw, we want to get our artwork out there, whether it's canvases, posters, or anything like that. We just want to draw and we want to get it out there. But there's so many other things, man, that goes along with this thing called the art business, which I am learning firsthand. Okay. I've been in business for about 5 years and I'm still making I would say novice and amateur mistakes, which is in part, yeah, it's my fault, and I have to learn a lot of different things, but it's just a lot of things I just didn't take serious, right? So I'll break one part down to you now for me, right? So as an artist and a person who makes money off his artwork, when I sell, let's say I sell a t-shirt, okay, my manufacturers have to get paid. But so when I charge for it, I would charge for the shirt, and then I also will collect taxes on that as well. So So when I'm selling, I'll sell the t-shirt and I'll collect taxes on that. For the longest time, I'll just be collecting taxes, not thinking about paying your taxes at the end of the year or paying monthly because I'm on a monthly thing with the tax guys or, making sure that you collect those and report those. Or even when you're selling, artwork out of the state, dude, like I've sold artwork all over the United States, even outside of the country and stuff, you have to like know all the tax codes and all that. If you go to another city, or if you go to another state, it is so much, man. So much that you have to keep up with that it just can be, it can be very taxing. It can definitely be very taxing on you as a person and taxing, in general when it comes to just, making money. So you have to really you gotta really watch this stuff. And the business part is so important because this stuff will bite you in the butt when you start making some serious dough. I'll give you an example. I think it was like 1 month I made like $23,000 in a month, and I have to pay 1,800 something dollars in taxes on that because where I live at, they charge like 7%. So it's just like, okay, yeah, when you make money, just remember all that money is not yours, man. All that money is not yours. Just remember that. And it is, so it's like now, I remember I was listening to Kevin Hart and he said something about that. He's like, look, every time he gets paid, he automatically just takes half of it and says, you know what, half of this is not even mine. So if you make $20,000, hey, you only really made $10,000. And then out of that $10,000, half of that needs to go back into the business anyway. So you want to put money away for taxes, then you want to take another percentage and put that away for the business. So, I yeah, yeah, it may look like I've made money, but I really, really didn't make as much money as I thought. And I used to hear about that a lot with different entrepreneurs, like people that made $1 million. They're like, yeah, I made $1 million, but they really only walk away with 700,000 because $300,000 or $200,000 got to go to the dang on IRS and go to taxes, which in my opinion is freaking crazy, but that's the way it is, and that's why a lot of people are trying to find tax breaks. Now, this may not sound like the exciting part of being a business owner, or especially as an artist, that you may want to hear, but this is the most critical, important part of running a business, man. When you make a lot of money, there's a lot of things that go to this thing that we just do not talk about. We just don't. We see the conventions and we see people running their booths and we see all that. That's why there's certain people who only accept cash. They don't want to have to tell and, release the information of how much money they're making at some of these conventions. And I don't blame them. I'm telling you, I think I'm going straight cash for some of my next conventions, man, straight up, because it's ridiculous. You bust your butt to make all this money and you got to pay taxes on this stuff. So any type of credit card transactions, any money you make online, all that stuff will get accounted for in its system. When it's hand to hand cash, nobody really knows. But when it comes to, tangible stuff and you running credit cards, they are on it, man. And I am learning a hard lesson right now about that. So I just want to share with you guys my experience and just let you know my journey. I will be making another video about being back with all my solo made shirts and things like that. It's been a heck of a journey. These past 5 months have been horrendous, but we're back on track, thankfully. By the grace of God, we're back and we're just, working on getting our stuff back full swing, full motion. Got some new designs coming. Definitely got some new t-shirts, hoodies, shorts, all that stuff in the works. Haven't been able to get back with CCS as of yet, but we are working on that. So shout out to Charlie's Collectibles. Definitely want to get back there. And I miss doing shows, man. I miss doing all that stuff. Working on things with the children's book definitely has been a trial and error with, selling the books and stuff like that. So I'll make another video on that going into detail. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know, man, it's very, very important when you're doing this business, to have your business down pat, no matter what business you're in. But in the art business, especially, just make sure you're counting those taxes. Make sure you're, checking everything that you got going in. Your business, your business, your business, your business. Making sure you keep up with the books and itemizing everything, which I hate, and I'm a procrastinator and I'm not good at it, but I know I got to get something done, man, because it's a lot. And when you're making a lot of money or you have a lot of inventory, you have a lot of moving parts, you just got to know what's going on. And right now I'm like a deer in the headlights, man. I just want to draw, but it's like I got to get all these things down pack and it is just it's not easy. So hope this video helps anybody. And I hope you guys are having a great day. And I will talk to y'all later, man. You already know what it is. We sell that in your face. And if you can find it in your heart to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, join the In Your Face Art family, I greatly, greatly appreciate it. I'll talk to y'all a little later, man. Peace.